Hi, beautiful souls. I hope that this message finds you really, really well. Welcome to or welcome back to my tarot reading tarot reading YouTube channel. Today we are going to be doing a pick a card reading to find out what it is that you need to know in your situation, a situation that's going on for you or perhaps someone else. You'll need to, of course, apply the messages as they resonate for you and for your situation. This is a very general reading, so you'll just need to remember that not every message may kind of make sense to you, or it might not resonate with you, but it will be with someone else that's watching it in Zimbabwe or wherever. So just keep that in mind. And also that time is an illusion and energy is fluid. So the message that you get today, we could do the reading in another 2 weeks' time, in 4 days' time, in 5 hours' time, and it could look completely different because it's working in accordance to your energy. So time is definitely an illusion and energy is fluid, so please remember that. So today we are going to be looking at, once again, what it is that you need to know about your current situation. It could be about absolutely anything. Now, I'll also be getting you 2 oracle cards as well. So without any further ado, beautiful souls, let's get into it. I'm now about to show you 3 different piles of cards. You're going to choose the deck which most stands out to you, and that's going to be your reading. And of course, you're more than welcome to watch all 3 readings if you wish. There's no rules here. Just do what feels right for you. All right, let's get into it. Okay, beautiful souls. So these are the 3 different decks that you have to choose from for your reading. So pile 1 is going to be the Edmund Dulac tarot cards. So if you're drawn to them, that is going to be pile 1 or reading 1. If you're drawn to this deck, this is the Silver Witchcraft Tarot. I'll show you as well a bit closer. And lastly, but of course not least, we have the Journey Tarot Zendao. This will be pile 3 or reading 3. So if you need a little bit more time to have a think about which pile you want to choose from, I'll just get you to pause the video because I am about to start the readings. Hello, pile 1, or for those of you who chose the Edmund Dulac Tarot, this is your reading. We're looking at what it is that you need to know about your current situation, whatever that may be for you. And as I said at the intro, because it's a general reading, you'll need to apply the messages to your situation, whatever that may be. Now, I will try and read it as generally as possible, but if I feel like I'm picking up particular messages for maybe you or someone else, I will include them as well. And we're also going to get 2 oracle cards as well to go with your reading. They're just waiting on the sideline. Okay, let's get into it. So this card here, this is kind of like the overarching energy of your reading. And this is the Queen of Wands. And this is really telling me that you really need to, with this whole situation, once we get into it, you'll know what it is. But with this particular situation, you really need to start like having more confidence in yourself and with what's unfolding with this. And try to take it more in your stride and really just believe that everything will work out and that you have the ability to do this. This has the ability to come to fruition and to work out really well for you, okay? For a lot of you, I feel like this is a creative venture, but it could be anything, okay? So confidence is needed here, very much so, in order for things to flow well. And there's a feeling here of just being more at peace with yourself. Maybe some of you need to put aside a little bit more time to kind of do the things that you really enjoy doing. So like hobbies or things that really fill your cup is what I'm getting here as well. Okay. So we're starting off with, excuse me, the One of Coins. So I feel like this particular thing or situation for you has to do, generally speaking, about how you make money or what you're doing to make money. So I feel like a lot of you are either on a new venture with money, or you're like changing the way you look at money. But it's kind of like starting from the bottom. It's just fresh, it's new, and you're going to be doing a lot of learning about this. But there's a lot of really good grounding energy in here. A lot of it has to do with how you live, what you spend your money on, and such things. Stability, groundedness. This is Pentacle energy. So it's the beginning of something new. As I said before, whether it's something that's already developed, but it's kind of like a new phase in it, or it's something that's brand new that you're starting to put some energy or time into, either or. Clarifying, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is something that's like going to take time to, it's going to take time to get where you want to be, but also it's really important that you take your time with this. Because there's groundwork that needs to be done is what I'm getting here, and it's better that the process be slow, because the Knight of Pentacles is all about slow, steady progress. So even though it's slow, it's steady and it's more kind of sustainable energy. So just remember that things take time, and that it's better that it takes time than it just be something that I think you understand what I'm trying to say here. I'm getting the feeling that I don't need to say anymore. At the moment, you're feeling really, really burdened and overwhelmed. I feel like for a lot of you, you've got a lot of things going on. And so this in itself, as exciting as this may be, this new thing that's going on, or as profound as it may be, or as important as it is to you, you're also feeling very overwhelmed with everything else that's going on. So I feel like a lot of you are potentially taking on too much, but I think for some of you as well, it's maybe just life, and that you've got other things going on as well. So it feels like this is just one extra thing that you're carrying on your back at the moment. Judgment, clarifying. I kind of feel like this is, there's a lot of emotional lessons in here for you with this. And I feel like as well, I feel like connections with people are really important for you at the moment as well. And being able to be vulnerable and open with people about kind of what it is that you're going through, not in a way that's just kind of dumping all your stuff on other people. But I think this is an important lesson in this for you as well, because this is judgment, is like allowing other people to do things for you and feeling comfortable enough to ask for help with whatever it is that you need help with, so you're not just feeling like you're struggling on your own. This is also something that's not going to be lasting forever. Like I feel like this kind of energy here, at the time of this reading, obviously this is a timeless reading, but I'm doing this reading in October 2025. So, well, tomorrow is going to be the 1st of October, but generally speaking, this time of year tends to get quite busy for a lot of people, especially coming up with Christmas and all that type of stuff. So that, that could be something else that's added to the mix. There's a lot of busyness, but sorry, I went on a tangent there. What I'm trying to say here is that this energy is not going to be like permanent. I mean, it can be if you want it to be, but there's a big lesson here in being able to let go of what you don't really need to carry, stressing less about it, and being able to rely on others to help you. You know, feeling comfortable enough to trust that you can ask other people for help and that people are there to help you as well. It's really important to maintain connection as well, as what I'm getting here with friends and family. This won't last too much longer though. I feel like once you step into the new year or around Christmas, you'll be able to kind of start letting some of this go. So yeah, as long as you can take on the messages and just be really mindful and conscious of what's going on for you, this looks really fruitful and good. There's a big lesson to learn around letting things go though, and not carrying too much. Okay. Word of advice here, we have the 5 of Swords clarified by the 9 of Swords. This is interesting. So the 5 of Swords is very much about kind of no-win situations, and I feel like sometimes it's really telling us that it's about picking your battles, I think, and it's about having that emotional intelligence and awareness around when it's time to walk away from something that's not worth a conflict or argument about. Because a lot of this can be, of course, very like ego driven, and I have to be right and I have to say the last word, or I have to say this to make myself feel better, right? There's obviously some things that are important to be said or shared with people in order for you to kind of release what you need to, or you know, communicate what you need to. But this is really saying, the 5 of Swords' advice is really saying, just be careful with this. Be careful with what it is that you express to people, because this person here has their hand on their throat chakra. Be careful of what it is that you're communicating. What I'm getting here is it necessary? Do you know what I mean? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it constructive? Is it worth it? And then because here you have the 9 of Swords, this is really talking about making sure that stress and paranoia and fear and a lack of sleep and feeling overburdened doesn't end up getting in the way or sabotaging this energy, sabotaging the way you see things, sabotaging everything, right? Because I feel like because you're on this new trajectory here, but because you're also carrying a lot at the moment, and there's big karmic lessons in learning how to deal with that, which we've already talked about. This is also very fitting in that because you've got so much going on, there can be sleepless nights, especially if you're doing a lot of shadow work through this Judgment card. So just be careful about how your state of mind can be influencing what you want to express to people, or how you turn up to potential conflict or challenging moments where you may need to express yourself in a way where you're needing to express something that's very different to someone, okay? As I said before, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You need to be able to speak your mind and do what you need to do, but don't let that be influenced by your stress, by the shadow work that you're doing, and by your fear and insecurities, okay? Make sure it's clear, because Swords is all like communication and, you know, head stuff, mind, thoughts. Interesting. Okay. I have 2 oracle cards for you. The first one I have is an animal one. It's raccoon, letting go. So it says this message has to do with those things to which you cling, be it a thought form, which we talked about here, a habit, creed, or situation. The time has come for letting go. Something is halting your progress and you are spinning your wheels. Once you embrace change, blessings will follow. That's really suits this whole reading, because you've got this coming in to start or to continue, or whatever it is for you. You need to learn to let go. You need to learn to know when is good timing and just when to let go of things, generally speaking. Still being true to yourself, of course, that's really important. And then just being confident in the process. I also have a Moonology card for you as well, which is Moonlight Enchanted. This is a really beautiful card. So I'm really picking up that this is a full moon, right? And it's coming through a door. And for me, this is really saying this is coming in to be manifested. But you're just going to need to be careful of this stuff around you affecting it. So there is something magical and enchanted about moonlight. Whatever it touches turns a beautiful creamy silver. Something is doing this in your life now or is about to. This card reminds you to focus on the good while you process the difficult. If you can't yet feel the magic in your life, take support from a daily practice of just breathing, with the intention of breathing out stress through cleansing breaths. It might be dark now, but there is moonlight at the end of the tunnel. So keep the faith and see the world through kind eyes. If you affirm that something is too good to be true, you might make it so. Instead, believe that life can be magical for you, and it can be. So this is really about, smiling more, trusting the process, getting in touch with your inner child, believing and achieving and expecting good things, as the Queen of Wands does. She's just there, She's not trying too hard. She's trying, but she's enjoying herself at the same time. So Pile 1, this was an awesome reading. I really, really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did doing the reading for you. If you would like to support me, you can do so by giving the video a thumbs up, by leaving any feedback and comments below that you may wish to, by sharing the video, by subscribing. I also have all my details in the description box below, including my website, if you wish to book in for a personal reading, which will be tailored just to you and any specific questions that you may have about whatever it is that you want me to do a reading for. And I also have a PayPal button below if you feel like leaving me a tip. Thank you so much for your ongoing love and support, Pile 1. I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello Pile 2, for those of you who chose the Silver Witchcraft deck of cards, this is your general reading. Please remember, as I said at the intro of the video, time is an illusion and energy is fluid. And because this is a very, very general reading, you'll need to apply this to your situation, whatever that may be it a relationship, career, or an overall way of being is generally what it is, right? I also have a couple of oracle cards for you to kind of end out the reading as well. So let's get straight into it. We have 3 major arcanas here, which are karmic cards. So there's lessons here to be learned. There's a lot of energy here. So to start off with, we have the King of Wands as like overall overarching energy. Now, it doesn't matter if this is gender fluid, right? It doesn't really matter. But what this is really saying here is this card is saying that you really need to start stepping into your power and be confident within yourself and with what it is that you're doing. I feel like for a lot of you may be leaders in what it is that you kind of do for a living. Maybe you own a business, or maybe you're in management or a team leader, or maybe you're just someone that people really look up to and are a very good role model, or you're a strong influence on people because of your energy and your confidence on your discernment. Maybe you're not feeling like this right now. Maybe you are, but there seems to be an imbalance of it. So you really need to be stepping more into your power and really trusting yourself and trusting your own leadership powers well, powers is probably not the right word, but I think you know what I mean. You're a leader. This is interesting because reading 1 is kind of similar to this. So maybe it's your counterpart or someone else that you know that might be going through something similar. If you wish to watch reading 1, go for it, of course. All right. So needing to step more into your power is really important here. But let's get into the details of this. So we have the Chariot clarified by the Tower, 2 major arcanas. So there's a lot going on for you right now with the Chariot. There's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of movement forward with something that's happening for you. There's also a lot of disruptions with the Tower that are kind of sometimes making this difficult for you to know which direction to go into. Because if things are moving fast, they quite often can create these tower moments, right? And vice versa. Tower moments, fast moving energy. I feel like this card really represents kind of maybe newness. I'm really being drawn to the baby, but this is really about you maybe not knowing what direction to go in at the time. I kind of feel like there's this forward moving momentum that's really, really fast, but sometimes if it's too fast, it can be overwhelming. And as I said before, create tower moments, and therefore can create tower moments within yourself and how you see the direction of something and whether you trust it and feel confident about what's going on. And I feel like this is the biggest challenge for you. I'm really being drawn to these 2 birds here. There's one that's kind of safe in the nest, and then there's one that's kind of in the storm. And this one is red, so I kind of feel like it represents, I know it's not a phoenix, but I'm getting this, phoenix rising kind of energy here. This bird is very confident. This bird is a little bit safer. So maybe for some of you, there's a decision here about whether to stay safe and comfortable and kind of knowing what you know and continuing with that, or whether you should just be fearless and just, get that fire behind you and just go for what this is, or know and trust that you're confident enough to go forward with whatever direction this is going. I do feel like for a lot of you, there needs to be a balance between these 2. So if there's a foundation crumbling, which is the Tower, something kind of crumbling. So it's interesting that you've got all this kind of forward momentum, fast energy, and then you've got these tower moments that are making you kind of question yourself and question what direction you're going, which is totally understandable. The Ace of Chalices clarified by the 10 of Wands is saying, because you've got so much going on at the moment, it's making it very hard for you to see things through a heart space, is what I'm getting here. And it's not because you've got a lot going on as well. You're finding it hard to fill your cup, which I feel like is also which is also in a way kind of distorting the way you see things. This is moving through this is a major turning point for you, huge, whatever this is. And, old structures are falling away, but the Chariot insists that you have the strength to move through it, okay? There's this opportunity here this is like emotional renewal, right? But it's going to require you letting go of some of this weight that you're carrying, lightening the load, because I feel like for a lot of you, you are definitely carrying too much, making it very, very hard for you to be able to see this renewal of heart space energy coming in, which is kind of stopping you from being able to see the positive sides, or the positive and constructive sides of this really powerful energy. Your word of advice is the Nine of Pentacles clarified by the Hermit. So this is really saying Nine of Pentacles is all very much about having kind of like everything that you need with money, being very self-reliant and self-independent. So for some of you, this might represent, you know, your own business or own endeavor, or just you really kind of relying more so on yourself, right? And you can do this. You have this. You have this ability to ground yourself. You have this ability to be stable and secure. It is there, absolutely, but it doesn't feel like it at the moment because of this energy that's happening. The Hermit is really telling you to, where you can, do some inner work and inner journeying, for lack of a better term, in order for you to get back to feel this energy more, and also to feel more confident again with what it is you're doing. I feel like for some of you, you're probably maybe burnt out and need a holiday, or just need, you know, a couple of days of being in nature to feel more grounded again, because this, I feel that this is very overwhelming. But there's this opportunity coming in for you to see things in a more kind of fresh and loving and compassionate and open heart space, is what I'm getting here. That you need to get back to grounding yourself, having some quiet time, spending time in nature, and really doing some deeper self-reflection with the Hermit. Major arcanas are karmic cards and their lessons to be learned. Meditation is what I'm getting here as well. Meditation, being more quiet, being more grounded, being present, being conscious, letting go of some of this stuff. Or even, you know, a lot of us have to carry a lot of stuff, or are doing a lot of stuff, and some of us probably do too much than what we need to, or we maybe don't manage it very well, if that makes sense. Because I feel like for a lot of people, not everyone, and this is a generalization, but some people take on too much stuff because it's kind of their way of dealing with or coping with trauma or stress or anxiety, but then you end up just burning yourself out. So that's the messages I'm getting for you, pile 2. Now, your oracle cards I got is Antelope, decisive action, which is really, you know, the Chariot, right? And this heart space and what you want to come into. You are being told unequivocally that it's time to get moving. Set your intentions and take action toward making your dreams a reality. You have a door in front of you. Trust your instincts here. This is the door, open, loving. You need to let things go, have a rest, and do some internal work. This is heavy, as I said before, but it's here to teach you a lesson. And if you can learn this lesson, you don't have to be so much in this energy anymore, or you'll know when you feel like coming into this energy. But a lot of this takes going into Hermit mode. Moonlit, embrace uncertainty. This is beautiful. So I really feel like this card is saying for a lot of you that maybe it is hard for you to really trust the process, or for some of you, especially in this energy, especially if you have this type of energy, it can be very difficult to let go of control, right? Because control is an illusion, but I feel like for a lot of you, this might be really difficult, especially in this energy, because if your way of coping with of feeling overwhelmed is by just taking on more and more, then it's this kind of cyclic thing going on, right? Where you feel in control, but you're not really. So A moonlit night might be beautiful, but it makes it hard to see really what's going on if you need to. Under very gentle moonlight, we simply can't see exactly what's going on around us. If we go out into the night and the moon is in the early stages of the waxing cycle or the late stages of the waning cycle, there isn't much illumination offered. This is really suggesting that you don't yet know the full story around whatever this is, okay? And this is why you feel this way, and this is why you feel burdened, and why it's difficult for you to allow your heart space to open. Someone else, I feel, for some of you or most of you, there's someone else involved in the situation, and it might still not be clear on what they do or don't want to, what they do or don't want. So they themselves can't tell you. So there might be a bit of deception at play, which can bring up a lot of anxiety and even fear. But all is not lost. Remember, the moon goes in phases. And even if there isn't much light around your situation right now, the fullness of time, in the fullness of time, with the fullness of time, everything will be clarified and illuminated. So for a lot of you, the path here isn't clear yet, you know, and this is really about exploring your dreams and intuition, trusting your feelings, and that uncertainty is very much part of this process, okay? And even though the antelope here is saying it's time to get moving, set your intentions, I feel like it's saying for some of you don't need to hear this, but I feel like there's some that do. And this is said with a heart full of love. Sometimes this character, when they're in balance, can rush into things and not fully think them through properly, or take on too many things because they feel out of control, and then it ends up being a mess, right? So with the decisive action, there's this need here for also to take your time with it and to contemplate and do the inner work and really think, because you need to be in a more balanced, you know, this is kundalini rising with the snakes here, okay? So spend some time meditating where you can in order to be able to let go of this old conditioning and way of being, which I think a lot of you have, of just kind of everything happening all at once, which creates tower moments, and it can be really positive, but it can be really overwhelming, which makes it hard for your heart space to be open. So you need to be able to, the rest you already know. Pile 2, I really hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it's given you clarity and or insight into your particular situation. If you would like to get a personal reading with me that is tailored to you and your situation and whatever questions that you want to ask, you can find the link to my website below. You can also find my social media platforms and my PayPal account should you wish to leave me a tip. Thank you so much for your ongoing love and support, Pile 2. I've really enjoyed doing this reading for you, and I hope you have enjoyed it just as much. Bye. Hello, beautiful souls, or for those of you who chose the Zendat Journey Tarot or Pile 3, this is your reading. This is your general reading to find out what it is that you need to know about your current situation, whatever that may be. Please feel very free to leave feedback and comments below around what it is maybe that you're going through, or whether this resonated with you. That would be awesome. And before I do the rest of the spiel I usually do, I'm going to get straight into your reading and just do that at the end. We also have a couple of oracle cards for you, which I will do to close the reading for you. So Pile 3. You're kind of closing a chapter at the moment. Your overarching energy is the Ace of Wands. There's this opportunity for a creative new venture for you, a creative way of being, doing, seeing things, living. There's this passionate creative energy that is within you that wants to come out. It really, really does. But there's this theme here of transformation needed because we have death, which is a major arcana here, and we have the Ten of Swords, which is letting go of something. But let's get into it, lovely souls. So Ten of Swords clarified by the Four of Cups. Okay, so for, this is kind of current energy where you've closed or are closing a painful chapter, and you might feel a bit withdrawn and guarded because you've I feel like you've really kind of been disappointed with something. This is Ten of Swords is all about endings, finality, hitting rock bottom, closure of a painful cycle, right? And it's interesting how it's got all the light coming through because it's always darkest before the dawn. So this is going into a new cycle, right? And then the Four of Cards is all about apathy, dissatisfaction, emotional stagnation, missing opportunities. So coupled together, this is really saying that you've just come through or you're in the midst of a period of burnout, disappointment, or a feeling or a sense of betrayal or loss. And the Four of Cups really shows that even though as the cycle closes, there's this, some of you are like emotionally disengaged or not really fully seeing the potential for renewal yet, because this is here. This is renewal, absolutely. This is the end of something heavy, but you might kind of be still in that phase of, why did this happen? I can't believe this happened. Why did this happen? This is so disappointing. I expected a different or a better outcome. Okay. And I feel like maybe for a lot of you, generally speaking, that this is maybe something that you kind of is maybe a little bit of a reoccurring theme in your life where things that you had a lot of hope or love for or emotional fulfillment around, if they don't work out, you struggle a lot. Like you struggle to another level where it really, really hurts you and you take it really, really personally and you get really, really disappointed. But if we take ego out of it, really, it's, a lot of this is abandonment issues, from our younger years or inner child healing that needs to happen. Because there's nothing wrong with being disappointed in something that hasn't worked out. But if it's, feels like your soul is being destroyed, it can make things more painful than it kind of needs to be. And sometimes we can end up in this cycle, right? So this is just telling me to tell you to be aware of this, because if this is a pattern that you see or if it's something that you suffer from, it might be time to kind of change your way of seeing things. I think you'll understand what I'm saying with this. Four of Pentacles and Queen of Wands is really saying here that you're holding on to something really tightly. And that's stopping this energy from coming through, because these cards here, right, are similar. The snake is kind of approaching to go up, and the snake here is already starting on its journey, right? This is newness. So these definitely work hand in hand. So what's blocking this is your inability to let go of something. So it could be a mindset, a way of being. It's generally both, but because you can't let go of it, because it's meaningful to you, and for some of you this involves finance, money, work, or a way of being that brings you security and stability, and you're finding it hard to let go because of this betrayal or sense of loss of betrayal that you felt, right? Or being let down. Because you're holding on to that so tightly, it's stopping this energy from coming through. It's stopping your confidence from shining through and from you being in your true authentic self, which is someone that is really confident, someone that is really creative. And maybe this energy is imbalanced in you. Maybe you're too much in your head, right? There needs to be the balances of all the elements in able to feel balanced. The word of advice here, you have the Ace of Pentacles clarified by death, which is pretty incredible. Death is around like endings of things, right? So this is really, these are cool because these are two beginning cards, beginning energies, fresh things coming in. So the Ace of Pentacles is really talking about a tangible new beginning, material opportunity, a seed for growth. And death is about transformation, endings that lead to rebirth and deep, deep change. And you can see here that this person is really letting go of things in order for magic to happen. And this person is looking up at this Ace of Pentacles. This is here for the taking, but there is a powerful transformation clearing the way for a brand new material beginning here. And as I said before, it could be career, home, health, or financial opportunities. And this isn't just a quick spark, right? This is something, it's an opportunity to rebuild in a grounded, meaningful way, but it only comes after embracing change and releasing this stuff, okay? So in order for this change to happen, for this new creative, financial, awesome stuff to come in, for your confidence to shine bright, you need to let go of things that are no longer serving you, ways of thinking and being where you're stuck in, I feel so sad, I'm suffering, I've been betrayed, I've been let down, okay, because that's keeping you stuck and you're holding on to that. And you're probably you're not consciously holding on to this. Otherwise, you would not choose to do this, right? But it's an old pattern and way of being with disappointment, I feel. And maybe not being able to trust others except yourself for some of you, right? So the messages are here. You need to be able to let go of this because there's this new stuff coming in with money and creative ventures, which is beautiful. Your tarot card, your oracle cards, we've got the Fox, opportunities. You must be quick to move out of your comfort zone, especially when the situation calls for immediate responsiveness and flexibility. Open your mind to new ways of doing things. Yep. Once you do, get ready for good luck and opportunities to come your way. So obviously you don't want to try and rush this process, but also you don't want to sit in this too long either, because I feel like for some of you, this is a repeating pattern with things in your life. You know, opportunities missed where there can be creative new beginnings that have to do with stability and finance, instead of just always being in your head, right? Your Moonology card is Yang Moon, and it is Strength. So this is a beautiful card. It's got a lot of orange in it. This is obviously talking about meditation. I'm going to read the meaning for you from the cards. So just bear with me while I find it. These are pretty new cards for me, so I don't know them off by heart yet. I mean, looking at it and just reading it like intuitively, I feel like this is really your higher self stepping in, saying you need to take some time to meditate, to balance yourself in order for this newness to come around, this new path and way of being, because you've got a full moon here that is potentially rising. This is I feel like a portal for you. This orange goes with the Ace of Wands. There's some orange here. There's some orange here. Sun. This has got to do with solar plexus and sacral chakra as well. So creativity and confidence is big here. But let me read the meaning out for you. So it says, this card calls for you to draw upon your inner resources. It's time for you to step into your power. If someone or something has been making you feel less than, consider the possibility that this is actually a soul challenge to you from the universe, designed to urge you to believe in yourself more. It's your time to shine. You have everything you need to achieve your goals, but you need to show the universe your resilience and strength. Now is the time for you to move out of the shadows and into the light. There is nothing to be gained from cowering in the shadows at this time. False humility won't get you anywhere. Don't sell yourself short, and don't even try to convince yourself that you don't have what it takes. You really do. The first step now is to think about all those times in your past when you got through big challenges. Doing that made you the person you are today, and you have all the resources you need to keep going. Beautiful. So transformation is definitely possible now, and I feel like big transformation that can last a lifetime if you let it. All right, pile 3, I really hope you enjoyed your reading. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can find a link to my website below. If you'd like to support me as well, besides getting a reading, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, give the video a thumbs up. I also have a PayPal link below. If you feel like leaving me a tip, that would be awesome, but of course, very much not expected. And if you'd like to share this video with loved ones, that would also be really lovely as well. Pile 3, I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I did doing it for you. I hope this has given you clarity and or insight, and I wish you all the best moving forward. I'll see you at my next reading. Bye.